Barbara, do you want me over here?
Weird. Everything was weird. It became too much.
All right, our intimate little group. Oh, wait, here we go. But we have to, James, you slide down. No, just slide your chair a little bit so Bert can see.
I can.
There,
Oh,
okay.
yeah, there's Yes, art therapy.
Art
So Barbara's been a conservator for over 30 years. I met her at one of the first seasons I did Arts and Conversations. She was there with her sister, and I said, I'd really love to see what you do, because everyone needs a conservator at one point. And then I came in here and got blown away. But she was trained in Italy. She studied in Italy for 20 and worked there for over 20 years. She received her advanced degrees with a specialty in painting in Italy's Institute of Fine Arts and Restoration, Palazzo Spinelli.
Brava, Palazzo Spinelli.
In Florence. Barbara's taught graduate classes for the Ministry of Education and CEIPI. I should tell you what that is, because that's another Italian. She's one of the few in the US that's certified in modular cleaning as well as nanotechnology. And some of the works she's worked on is little old Rembrandt, Monet, Miro, Dali, and Margit. So you were an art student at one point.
I was, yes.
And then
always.
decided,
Yeah, always in love with art. Since a little girl, I remember my parents were so patient with me because, you know, in an Italian table, there is always bread on the table. But there is who eat bread. I was pouring bread into my glass of water.
Yeah.
To melt the bread, and I was creating little sculpture. And for the joy of my parents, they were like a little disgusted by that, but it was really innate, the passion of art. And in Italy, we are so privileged to have art everywhere. You walk in a street and you see a little painting, you see a sculpture, so it's just a little journey. You're exposed to art every day. So
Just like Florida.
just like
Just like Florida.
I was actually worried missing art being in Florida, because in Italy you have museums, you have a lot. But I can tell you I'm so privileged. I see beautiful collection, private collection that nobody can see, and we have this privilege being the conservator. So it's a gift.
and she just came to my house last week.
Yes.
And just did
I
an
love
assessment of all the art, especially with the sun. You know, I'm always concerned, and I try to rotate pieces a little bit.
Brava.
But
See?
but how do you take care of everything?
Yes, you did an excellent job.
Oh, thank you. So that's very important. Very, very important. So from Florence to West Palm Beach.
That was a long journey. So I was studying at the academy. At the academy, just go back a little bit about my process in becoming a conservator. So I did art, and then I did an extra course in conservation. I fell in love. I decided to leave the Academy of Art, Accademia, to go in Florence studying there. I studied and I had my studio for 20 years, and one day a cousin of my mother came and said, "Oh, with this ability, you should come in Canada." I moved in Canada then, and then from Canada I was called here for a project in Boca Raton, I remember, and I fell in love again. I said, I want to stay here, it's a paradise. So I decided to open the studio here in West Palm Beach. This was 2010.
So how do people find you?
So, I attend events, but mostly I think it's really more about the website, and word of mouth with my clients are so kind to leave us great review, and this is Google also is a good way to be reached.
All right. You're going to show us some restoration. You're also going to go tell us about the process of how to preserve the art you have.
Yes,
So
that's something.
you take it away.
care about, because as a conservator, we want to conserve paintings, but is paramount. Preservation is really paramount. So we want to empower you with tips that you can take home and you know what to do, what not to do for your art collection, because it's so important. And I always mention it to you, few ways to really identify if your art is in good condition or not. So I will take, and after the lecture, we'll take you to a little journey behind the scene. We can see some process. We do like a repair of a tear, or a cleaning, and so it will be a little journey behind the scene. So let's go, and then you can stay. I love my little circle, so you can stay there. I just need to go back to the lecture, which is already here.
Oh, yeah.
Un minuto. I don't have my glasses.
Oh, the one.
Ah, I see.
I've got 3 different lenses in here. Trifocals.
One for each eye?
Yeah, one for each eye. That third eye really sees clearly.
That helps.
That's when you reach nirvana.
All right, we're ready. So I was mentioning to you what a service we offer. We do collection maintenance, and this is where we actually identify few mistakes a collector makes too in their art collection. And this is really something that is preventable. We can prevent the damage if we know what could cause the damage. So I collected what I call the 8 mistakes. First in the list is high humidity. We are in Florida, welcome to paradise, but we have a really high humidity level. And this, despite the air conditioning, despite every precaution we can take in a residence, we do have some fluctuation of humidity. So humidity can really affect the paintings in a really severe way if we don't use the right precaution. So I collected few images so you can see it. We can have, the canvas is hygroscopic, which is the support of the painting, and can move as hygroscopic, therefore can retain water and release water and cause creases or deformation of the canvas. And here we have an example. We see so many creases. To give you an example, we do have a painting which is not here anymore, Lily Lantry. She was our favorite lady in the studio. She's not here anymore. And we were always looking at her, and we could anticipate when it was raining, because she started to dance, moving the canvas, and the afternoon was raining, so the humidity, despite the percussion, was really affecting the canvas. Then, as a consequence, we have crack on the paint layers. The cracks can go further, tinting, detaching from the canvas, causing, therefore, flaking and losses. For the wood panel, we can have even more severe damages, because the wood panel, if it worked, is not reversible anymore. It will stay worked. And the delamination of color can be solved, of course, but the panel, it will be highly affected by it. So if we have a humidity level, relative humidity level, over 60% in the residence, we may have a development of mold in the paintings, and we do receive a lot of collection damaged by mold here in Florida, sometimes entire collection. So mold it's a severe issue here. We need to prevent. So this is
Ghostbusters.
yes, exactly. So here we were leaving the residence. We did the remediation in the residence. We didn't move all the paintings, and so we were in our lunch break. We went outside, walking toward the car to take our little lunch, and the neighbor came to us. I need your help. Oh, I'm sorry, a mold? No, a ghost. So as I started laughing, it was really appropriate because we do really look like Ghostbusters. As you can see, we have everything that reminds a Ghostbuster. Here we are in the process of the first phase on releasing and removing the mold. It's a long process, and this is the first phase. So what can you do to prevent this? So the best temperature is between 68 to 77. I say 54 is the ideal for paintings.
54?
Or yeah,
5'4"?
sorry, 74.
Oh, you scared me.
Why?
Really like, whoa.
My first. Quick. Get those turtlenecks. I had the same thing. I'm like, oh, everything's shot.
Total freezing. Because we prevent mold for sure. And relative humidity between 50 to 55. So we always need to pay attention to not reach the 60, which is the damage,
Where is
the red flag.
Where is humidity reading on there?
Exactly. So this is what we recommend, to have just a little thermostat, really easy. You also can have a thermostat.
The humidity.
Humidity?
Right, yeah.
Humidity?
42.
Mine doesn't.
I don't know
So
if mine,
just,
we should have that.
Thermostat where you have your paintings to keep it, and some of them they also have a Bluetooth. You can check with your cell phone. If you leave the house, you go back north, you can always check the humidity in the house. This is something really important to keep. Second big mistake, less here in Florida because we don't really use the fireplace, but yes, this is something that we see quite regularly, to have the painting displayed above a mantle and the fireplace.
It helps to open your flue too. I once started a fire without opening the flue.
Yeah. So this is what could happen to your painting that is exposed to high heat and smoke from the fire. We can this will acidify your canvas, causing the canvas to be weak and more susceptible to damage, to tearing. The paint layer is going to dry and it's going to cause this cracking, starting to tenting again, and flaking and losses as a consequence. More severe cases, this is actually is a photo we took when we did some fire remediation. It's the blistering that is caused by the heat. In this case, we do see this also caused by the light, halogen light above the painting. That is a really severe damage the light can cause. Then we have soot from the fire, and then we have nicotine. We wanted to put it because it's so cute. You can see the difference. So nicotine and soot also very acidic, and really they can damage severely the paint layer. So then we have the light, really important topic to better preserve your paintings. The improper lighting system can cause discoloration of the varnish, can powdering, choking of the paint layer, and also blistering again. So that's especially the halogen light.
And when you say halogen light, are you talking about the lights that you can clip on, or you have just above the painting that looks down on?
Exactly.
So how do you know if you have the right light?
A very easy test is just not too close, but if you feel the painting is hot, that's most likely halogen. And also the form of the, it's a narrow bulb is the
Well, there's
halogen.
also lots of theories about lighting art. Like
Oh yeah.
here you have fluorescent tubes. The Rubels actually only light their art by fluorescent tubes.
Mhm.
And like I have no lit art in my house. I don't have anything pointing on any
And why do
art.
they like fluorescent tubes?
Because it's a consistent light, and it doesn't actually, it's just cool light, and it doesn't actually hit the actual paintings.
It
Mhm.
doesn't heat up.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of museums that are sort of following suit now.
Yeah. There are a few systems that I'm going that direction. I'd like to show you this. So then we have direct sunlight. This is really something to avoid. If you have a painting near a window, it's good to protect the painting, and I'm going to show you how. In this case, for instance, we have a window really near, and when the sun face the window and we have the painting completely exposed to sunlight, the color can fade, and we can have a consequence of damages, discoloration of the varnish, the paint layer, chopping.
Barbara, do you only deal with paintings, or did you work on paper also?
We don't do paper. We do paintings and sculpture, painting from the ancient to the contemporary, but paper, no, it's a different field.
Yeah.
Yes, but I can recommend someone if you definitely. So what you can do, of course, like you do really skillfully, you protect your painting, you close, keep dark the room in the moment where the sun is hitting the window. Or you can use plexiglass with UV protection. If you use a plexiglass here in Florida, we do recommend to keep the painting a little bit detached from the wall to allow air circulation. Because the plexiglass in the front can block and can cause a little condensation. So since we are exposed to humidity, we don't want this to happen. So this is a very easy tip. And then lightning, understanding that it's good to have a beautiful lighting system which is appealing to our eye. We really need to be careful in what we use. This is the best solution. So absolutely big no halogen and incandescent. Incandescent, I never get that right. Incandescent light. But the best solution would be to have a spotlight on the ceiling that is direct to your painting, so it's causing really on the painting, but it's not really too near the painting. And another beautiful system you may want to explore is really beautiful the way is the fiber optic system, which is extremely safe. But LED is also safe because it doesn't emit infrared light. A little bit of ultraviolet light is okay, it's not too aggressive, and especially it doesn't heat the paint layers, so that's something you can use, and it's cheaper than fiber optic. And then you don't have to make a hole in your ceiling, so it's just...
If you have halogen ceiling cans that aren't directed on the painting, is that okay? Not
How
ideal.
far from the painting?
Oh, I mean, they're off the walls, like, 2 or 3 feet, and they're around the room, and the paintings are on the walls.
If it's not directly faced, it does emit a little bit of infrared light, but it's not directed to the painting, so yeah, don't worry about it. This is something we see so frequently when we go on site. We see sometimes some paintings with some protuberance, and we realize there are indentation and puncture, and some of their tears. And why? When we released the painting from the wall, we realized that was because the painting was covering plug with the light plugged on it. So from
the outlet plug was in the outlet behind the
exactly.
painting.
So really easy peasy, just a flat. Very, very simple tip, just to use a flat plug. This is so important, and I always like to share this because we see so many damages due to improper cleaning. And we like to also share this with the housekeeper, not only with the client, but the housekeeper. Sometimes they think to do the best, and they actually are causing damages to the paintings. They use maybe synthetic duster, which may look safe, but when you have painting with a lot of impasto, they can snag on the impasto if they're not properly used. So and also, I have so much to tell, but sometimes and also what we noticed, sometimes paintings near area where we have lamps, we have a top, and they spray a cleaning solution thinking to clean the top, and everything is going on top of the surface of the painting. Sometimes we do see little, with the magnified glasses, little abrasion caused by the spray from cleaning solution. So this is some important topic. What we can do, and I'm going to show you how to do it if you want to dust your painting, which I do recommend doing it for 6 months, not so frequently. You just use a sable hair brush, very soft. This is so inexpensive, and also you can buy it on Amazon, and it's just very easy to find, and you dust your painting every 4 or 6 months. Or you can do it, you just place a raking light on the left side of your painting. The raking light would enhance anything on the surface. So you will be able to identify if there is dust on the surface.
What kind of light did you say it was?
Oh, just a flashlight.
Oh, I thought you, okay.
Just a flashlight on this left side of the painting. But also it's really important to do this prior to dusting your art, because you can eventually identify any delamination or detachment of color. In that case, I do recommend not to dust your painting, just leave it and call your trusted conservator, because you could remove the color. This is the delamination I was mentioning. Another issue we found quite frequently is the not proper hanging system. We do receive paintings damaged because the wire broke and fell in on the floor, and maybe hitting little tables or any object nearby, and this is causing tears and holes or puncture, indentation, flaking, and losses of color. And this is a consequence of the painting falling from the wall. So what you can do, you just make sure you have a proper hanging system, which is just simple 2D rings on the side. I know I have all the time when I explain this to the guys, I say, yeah, but I need to do the 2 holes, and then no line. Yeah, we do understand. But an easy peasy solution is the French clip mounting, which is really easy to apply and also to put it on the painting. And yeah, the wire, even if you use the wire with the plastic, we by experience, we receive paintings with the wire with the plastic, just simply doesn't hold, and also create tension unequally on the painting. So this is another thing, you know, we love exploring new country, and we may come back with a painting roll on a tube, which is okay. It is okay, but not for a long period of time. You just leave it there for the shipping, and then you remove it from the tube, and make sure the artist or the dealer roll the painting with the face of the painting out. So it will be, the face has to be facing you. And what can happen if we leave the painting on a tube for a prolonged time, we can have cracks forming horizontally. So what you can do, if you have to keep it exposed, if you have to keep it not stretched, which would be my recommendation, to stretch it. But if you have to keep it, so you just prepare an acid-free board, the painting, and then it will be like a sandwich between 2 acid-free boards, and a little weight on top of it, like very, very easy to do. And then if you watch your hands, and especially little hands when we have family gathering, children around running, but also our hand when we move art, because sometimes the fingerprints, which they do have oil, the skin oil, sometimes could be in contemporary paintings irreversible. I'm done with the tips, and now we can go over a few examples. This is a painting. That was actually one of my first restorations. I was still in Italy at the time. This was a large, you can see the dimension, was a large painting. I was reaching the shoulder of this gentleman, and I was called by the superintendenza, the Ministry of Belle Arti in Italy. I was called to go examine this painting, and I went to the church. The priest took me under the roof. It was a journey, and it was really something special to see. A lot of dust. But it was really beautiful, you know, the wooden beams was something really unusual to see. And he came to me with this, I thought it was a rug. I thought, oh, I didn't expect it. Is it tapestry? It was the painting folded like a rug. So the painting was there under the roof since World War II because it was damaged by the bomb. And you can see how severely damaged the painting was, with really big canvas and loss of color. It was the whole protocol was really funny to do. And this is after the restoration.
How long did that take?
3 months.
That's actually really.
Yeah, it was a large painting. I was working only on this. So you can see the same detail before, during the restoration. Here I was already joining, and then Carla will show you how to do it, joining the canvases together and remove the tear, fill the tear, and this is after the restoration.
And do you have to use like similar technique of
Oh,
when
yeah.
you're painting the
Mhm.
actual oil back on there?
Oh no, we don't use oil color, great point,
Oh.
and I will explain to you why we don't use oil color when we go through the retouching. Yes, great point, great point. And so this is a picture we posted in Instagram, and we asked our, in Instagram, we asked what this is about. We had really cute questions, like a brownie and So this is actually a piece of painting. So the client, she called me. We were still in COVID time, so everything was closed. She came here from north, right, to stay here instead of New York. And when she came, she realized that this piece of something was on the floor. She couldn't understand what that was. So she looked at it and she lifted her eye and she see a big hole in her painting. And this is the piece of painting that was damaged by subterranean termite. The house was infested by subterranean termite. And they created a nest in the back of the canvas. That was a long process, but she never realized it until the nest was so heavy and acidic that tear the canvas away, and she found it on the floor. That was,
You can imagine.
that was
Why
an
is it so
experience.
thick though?
It was really thick. It was probably 3 inches.
Because of the nest?
Yes,
Mhm.
It's the nest.
It's
The
the
nest.
The
nest.
nest.
Your worst nightmare.
Yeah.
You thought the car was gone.
And this was the painting with,
Oh, wow.
with a missing piece.
Check
which
behind all
was-
the paintings when you get home.
Yeah, that was really unusual. I mean, we do receive painting damaged by termite. This was really something.
So where was the oh, look at that.
You see?
Jeez.
Where the nest was. And it was so acidic. And this is not an old painting. So it's cotton canvas is quite interesting for termite. But who never could expect a nest just there? Perfectly architectural. So this is the version recto. And this is when I removed, of course, the painting first was remediated with Vicam gas,
Yeah.
go through a process before coming to the
Spot
studio.
treated, yeah.
Exactly. And then you can see I removed the canvas from the nest, and you can see it was barely un cartoccio, come si dice, I don't know.
Crumbly, crumpled like these
Exactly,
things.
exactly. So, and this is, you can see now, I was trying to put it together like a puzzle, all the pieces of canvas. The puzzle, getting, you see, it getting better. We had few losses, they literally destroyed the canvas here. So, And you can see the little fragments. I will still put it on the canvas. You see very acidic in that area. And I was in this position for a few weeks to put everything together. Where we had missing of canvas, I recreated, I put it in lay, extracting the canvas from the tucking edges of the original canvas, just the tucking edges. And this is the painting. During the restoration, you can see everything is ready, put it together. Same detail, now on the faces. And this is after the restoration, same detail. So the client was really happy, she didn't remember where it was, so that was really rewarding to bring this painting back. She thought it was completely
What year was
lost.
painting painted?
That was actually not so old. I think she's contemporary, this artist, so it was probably 20 something.
So was this an acrylic also? Was it acrylic?
Yes.
So when you went to restore it, you went back and matched the acrylic paint to?
Exactly, matching the original color.
And it looks like you cleaned it too. Did you clean the whole paint?
We did,
Yeah.
yes, definitely. Little cleaning overall, but the damage was mostly the area
Sure.
affected by the termite. So that was, yeah. And this is Pat Lipsky color field. And Pat Lipsky, she had a really, all Pat Lipsky, honestly. We did receive several of them because she used to pour liquid paint over the raw canvas, and this canvas is cotton. Cotton has the tendency to discolor quite quickly, foxing, watermark, and you can see the discoloration, and this is after the restoration, so I was able to treat the canvas in a way that is not a blanching effect, which would damage the fiber. This is a process that brings the canvas back, removing the acidity of the canvas, and the color are not touched. This is a cutie, we call like the baby of the family. So this is to show you, sometimes we do receive paintings with old restoration, and in this case we had a surprise. This painting was actually previously restored, but already very discolored. And if you notice this area, here, sorry, I'm giving you my bag, you see that area, we realized there is an older painting, but we didn't know why the older painting was there. For some reason, they decided to cover the hat. It's not fashion anymore.
Go back,
That
go
is
back.
hilarious.
That's hysterical.
Oh my God, it's Photoshop.
You see,
So, do you know your
Yeah.
Photoshop?
yeah, they covered the hat.
That's great.
They didn't like it. I think it was so fashionist. So this is a cute painting. So this is the last example to show you. Then we will take you to a little tour. But this painting is dear to me. It was a really fun project. That was many years ago. It was still in Italy. And so the client came to me, and then I did the examination of the artwork. Clearly, an ancient artwork, seen it from the recto. But when I examined the verse of the painting, the wood was definitely an older panel, wood panel. So something was not really right. I said, this is something not really right. The wood panel is much older, definitely ancient. The paint layer is not. So I examined the artwork microscope and magnifying glasses, and in a small loss of color, I identified different pigments, which was definitely the better quality. So I shared this with the client. The client said, that's curious. I have this painting, but actually I don't really like it. I just preserving it because it's my parents gave it to me. I feel like I need to preserve it. So I said, can you open a little bit more just so I can see? So sure, I can do it. And a little face appears, removing the newer painting. A little face appeared. So I said, definitely there is something. Would you like to do examination, further analysis? So we proceeded with the cleaning, and he was aware he would be using this painting, but he didn't like it, so he took the chance to uncover the older painting, the ancient one. So proceeded, and you see the figure was coming through. I started to remove everything. At one point, it was very confusing. We had scenery in this case, then we have a court over here, a mask which doesn't relate with anything here, so it was a layer over another layer. So after the cleaning, this was the result. So that was a really old painting and actually was dated 1521.
Wow.
So,
Whoa.
so he left the painting, left the studio 1521 instead of 19, maybe 50. No, maybe 60.
So how much did it cost to do that?
Oh, that was so many years ago, I don't even remember. But yeah, it's a process.
And how about the termite one?
Oh.
I know, we really want to know
No,
about
this
the
is-
termite one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, what is that? What is the
Goggles and a flashlight, you're gonna get a, where did you
Why is
learn?
that painting so thick? No, that's the nest, my friend.
He's checking the plugs, the nests, the
What did that
lights.
cost to repair?
Oh, that was a few years ago, I don't even remember. But if you need something, I can,
No,
I can give you an estimate.
I,
He doesn't need one more thing to worry about, I'm just gonna say.
I know some people who do have to worry about it, so
Uh-huh.
let's put it that way.
Oh,
Yeah.
about termite?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Everybody
Take a
does.
photo.
Call goes
By the
first.
way,
Take a photo
By the way,
of that
I'm a
thick
real
nest.
estate agent, okay? So I can tell you that probably 2 out of 3 homes in Florida need to be tented
Mhm.
at some point,
Yeah.
okay? And you know, anybody that you can get, and by the way, I was selling an antique store once. The store was impact windows and doors, new
Yeah.
roof, everything was fine, except there was a piece of furniture with termites.
Oh, that's all. We do sometimes see some, you identify because you start to see this powder, which is the frass from the wood.
No, the droppings. You see the droppings, yeah.
Dropping, literally, you see it. So that's a, yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's
So Barbara,
definitely
would you show an example of
yes.
how to use these
Absolutely.
brushes, which are on Amazon? And I have them now in every single size.
Do you store Jaguars too?
If only we had one to restore.
Exactly.
Yeah. So here, so when we receive a painting, what we do first is an examination. So we examine the artwork. We use Reiki light, UV light, and this is so important to be able to determine what happened to the painting and what is causing damage, and how can we restore it. So this, for instance, is a beautiful painting. You can see this area we did the cleaning window. That means we removed the layer of discolor varnish and nicotine. But when we removed those 2 layers, we do also have a layer of dirt and grime, which is still on the surface, but we will remove it. And you can see the difference in color. It's impressive.
Sure.
It's like day and night. It's so impressive.
When you say nicotine, when people are smoking in their house.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm just shocked that people are still smoking.
Well, but no, but this is when yours is painted.
This is years of.
Yes.
years.
Years ago.
Or if it was maybe in a restaurant that
Yeah.
the one's
Yeah.
loud
Oh, yeah.
smoking and, oh, I
Yeah.
can't
An
imagine.
airplane.
Yeah, and I can tell you, mostly what we found nicotine on the painting 60-70. When we receive a modern painting, always nicotine on it. It's kind of
There.
rewarding because it's so dirty and then it's brightened up so beautifully. So yeah, so this painting, it's coming from Europe, and you can see, you may wonder what this is, right?
Yeah, the line.
This line is actually the 2 canvases stitched together,
Oh.
and because the canvases were handmade at the time, so it was not industrial, they only had a specific size. So when they wanted to reach a larger painting, they were stitching the canvases together. And this will be then, we will retouch this, it will not be visible anymore. But this is interesting. When I was in Italy, I used to do really, really large paradaltare, really large, and there were 3 or 4, some of them even 4 canvases together. So this painting is, you can see also, you can turn the light, so we can show you better. Since you saw already, you see on the top we have delamination and losses of color.
Mm-hmm.
You can see, right?
Yeah.
And how long will it take to restore this, Barbara?
Oh, this is a long process because
Huge.
if you consider, we are going to show you how we clean a painting. So, coming back to dusting your painting. So, the raking light is, you can see when I apply the raking light, I can clearly see the dust on the painting.
Mm-hmm.
Then you will be using someone who can help you holding the vacuum a little bit distance from the paint.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Oh, my.
Right?
I wasn't expecting
You didn't realize that. I wasn't expecting that.
So you will be starting from the
That's
top.
very satisfying right there.
Last
All right,
light.
I'm leaving.
Order ends on the way.
So you will be starting from the top, or the frames, the painting is framed, and you'll be doing this face horizontally, and then you go over vertically, and I don't move too much dust because I'm allergic.
So, but somebody is behind you with the vacuum?
Yes,
Like,
so you just move the dust, and the vacuum will.
and are you using like one of those canister vacuums, so you don't
Yes.
like what they have?
Very near the painting, not attached to it. but
Yeah.
And do you only use the brush in one direction?
One direction first, from the top to the bottom, one direction, then you go back the other direction.
So horizontal top to bottom and then vertical top to
Exactly.
bottom?
If you have area of impasto, it's a little bit more challenging.
Yeah.
You will be, oh, you see now?
Oh, yeah.
Now go there, Barbara. You see? Okay, so then, if you have the area of impasto, you may want to do a little strokes horizontally too. So then we need a dusting. But we didn't dust it to show you, so that will be our next phase. Okay, so now we like to show you how we clean a painting. So after dusting it, and we call it dry cleaning, we will select the right cleaning solution in very small little test in each pigment. And when we identify the cleaning solution appropriate for removing the layers, which in this case we have 3 layers. We have nicotine on top, and then we have discolor varnish, and then we have a layer of dirt and grime. So now Carla will go a little bit lower so she can show you. You see it's coming? So what we use this little cotton swab to clean this large painting.
Very labor intensive.
So it's a very labor intensity and also a big responsibility, because if you don't use the proper cleaning solution, if you leave this solvent or any cleaning solution a little bit longer than it should be, it could really damage severely the paint layer. And yeah, and this is just the first layer, you see? Then we will use another cleaning solution to remove the discolor varnish. So this is the process. Okay, so I'd like to share with you why we have this baby, this painting, the 3 boys.
Yeah.
3 boys, they are really, really new, probably a years old. And why we have the painting, a contemporary painting here, actually this is a really unusual story, but the client noticed a little bee flying near the painting, and she lay on top of the surface to stay a little bit, and then he went there to move the bee from the surface. She flew a little bit on the top of the painting, and she left a little
Mark.
Great.
She pooped.
She pooped.
Oh. Beet poop.
I guess it's big. They said it was a big mark.
We never know
Wow.
what we can find on top of a painting. Also, people. So yes, it's really acidic, by the way, really acidic. So we removed it. The people left a little mark, a little stain, and then we removed the stain. So that's what the stain was, because already it was starting to acidify the paint layer.
Wow.
Very acidic.
Wild.
So yeah, that's. Ooh, let me show you this. Let me show you this. You need to see this.
I know.
You're a real estate agent and an exterminator looking for bees and termites.
Horror story behind it. So just to be in the theme, this is the wood panel, and you can see it's composed by 3 panels together. If this painting is kept in a not proper environment, you will start seeing the panel deforming and warping. And if you see, we have a violin there, and I'm going to reveal what we have here. Sorry, I'm just go this way. We have a violin. I'd like to show you. So, please, just to know this paper. This is something really, really rare to see, and I'm really, really happy to share this with you. So the client came to me, he said, I forgot, I have this violin, and I kept it under my coffee table for so many years. So that was my mom's violin. That was actually from my grandfather. It's just a Stradivari.
Oh, that's all? That's all?
That's it.
He kept it under the. So if you come a little bit closer, you see the label. I don't know if you can see it. The label.
Yeah.
The label. This Stradivari Anno 1719. You see inside. If I move the light, maybe
Yes.
you see
Yes,
it.
no, I
right?
see it.
Oh, in there, yes.
Inside there. Yes.
So that's the bridge, right?
And then we have the. So we were sorry. We missed the bridge. We missed the bridge. It's so important.
Right.
But then we discovered the bridge is inside.
Yeah, the bridge is inside.
You
Oh,
see?
yeah.
So that it would be challenging to take it out. But they probably put it inside not to lose it because it was detached. So this is so cute. Look how beautiful. The patina is still really
Beautiful.
good condition, right?
So small.
It's so
The
light.
fine-
I
one
wish
of the
I could
finest
make you
violin
try that.
makers
No.
In the world. Yeah.
It's so light.
And look at
So
that
how,
work, that
what
beautiful.
are you gonna,
What
how are
we
you
need
gonna tackle
to
this
do,
project?
what we need to do, it's first a condition report.
Self-mystery.
First a condition report.
Okay,
And then we will only need to remove this grease here. We don't touch it.
okay.
The patina is too beautiful. Of course, that's all we need to do. And then we will have someone who can put it back to, it's still working. It's still-
Oh,
This is
then restore that with somebody who knows,
yeah.
okay.
To put it, to put it,
Both an arrow.
to make it, yeah, to make it play again.
Will you touch this area or no?
Just to remove this grease layer
Okay,
and bring back the patina.
okay.
Is this from the hands?
Yes.
Like the oil from hands?
Yes.
And with those scratches, you'll take out the scratches and.
No, just this is what we need to do. Just this for the moment.
Yeah.
Mix it together. Yeah. So I'd like to show you. Then here we have sitting bull brass plate.
Yeah, it's one of our best.
Yeah. Isn't it gorgeous?
Absolutely.
So beautiful. Sitting bull brass plate. Yeah, he was a big man, but this is
Sitting bull.
sitting
Oh.
sitting bull. My pronunciation is changing.
So now what are you gonna do to that?
Yes, that's ivory, and then we have leather. And sorry, you can.
What are you gonna do to the breastplate?
So what we need to do, there are some missing pieces. We need to reattach them together, and we are creating a traveling box because we'll be exposed to museums, and we will stabilize it in a way that's secure to transportation. So we have the pieces, we have it away, safe, and we will reattach everything in the new display box.
No, you can't wear it.
No.
No.
But you don't have to, we don't have to clean it or anything, or,
No.
no, okay.
No.
You're stabilizing it so
beautiful.
it can actually be on
Yes.
exhibit, okay.
Yes.
So are you gonna take us into the other room?
I have. It's good. So here is where we do the mold and fire remediation. We have an isolated space for this product. This little room is where we prepare the cleaning solution. We can use the traditional solvents, but we also have a lot more knowledge now. We have more tools in our hands. We can use the adjusted water, modular cleaning, where we change the pH of the water in order to remove anything that's on top of the surface, on the surface of the painting. Could be discolor varnish, nicotine, dirt and grime, all the restoration. We prepare everything. This is what we do. We have our own recipe, and then we have the latest innovation, which is nanotechnology. And nanotechnologies is used for a specific situation where sometimes the paint is not, it's very sensitive to water or to solvent, so we cannot use anything. We do have the nanotechnology, which is helping us to clean a paint. And it's really, you see the gels, those gels are embedded in nano solutions. We remove the gel from this little bottle. We blotter the gel, it's completely dry. We lay the gel on the surface of the painting, and the process is called de-wetting, where we remove the gel. The superficial layer will detach very easily, just with a little dry cotton swab. Like when we go to
So
the
it takes
beach.
the moisture out?
Exactly, affect just the superficial layer. So we remove with a dry cotton, we remove the layer. Here we have, this is another example of nicotine, which is really, yeah, you can show Caroline, you can show her. Look at this,
No.
nicotine.
Wow.
Isn't it?
love to clean.
Yeah, well, nicotine is our
So it
favorite.
just doesn't cause lung cancer, more than lung cancer, huh?
Can you believe it, our lungs?
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
It's crazy.
This is so rewarding.
Oh my
Yeah. It's very meditative and very
It's just
rewarding.
water.
Very meditative.
That's just water?
Not only
Oh.
water, just water.
We change the
You adjust the
pH.
water.
Oh, I see.
We have a
This would
certain
be
heat.
a great campaign for non-smoking.
To
Danger.
show people exactly. So this is really, you can see the removal of the layer, and we will regain the original vibrancy of color.
So
Back
Barbara,
the
you have to
original.
do, the nicotine is what you remove first.
We remove first whatever is most superficial. In this case, it's nicotine. In other case, maybe just discolor varnish. Another case could be discolor varnish and dirt and grime.
Dust
Or
probably
sometimes
is
all
first, though,
Dust
right? Yeah.
or soot. So, and sometimes we are able to remove everything at once. Sometimes the layers require a specific solution for each layer, depending on what is the.
What about the one that she's working on?
So Nini now, she's prepared, she's doing what is, we call it the cosmetic phase in conservation. And she's working on the losses of color. The white spots are in reality the loss of color, where we put in a filling to reach the level of the paint, and then she's matching the color, and this is a very long process because she starts with little dots, and then she proceeds with little lines, and then she will be recreating and matching the color completely. I will show you one painting completed so you can have an idea of the final phase. And how a conservator is trained to do that is funny. Really, really funny. A lot of fun. So this is how we of course we have a lot of colors, not theory, but then this was one of my students. We start trying with little lines. You can see the little lines, and we reach a level where the little lines really get to matching the original color. So this is the process. This is one exercise we did at school.
And what type of paint are you using now?
She's using pink. We don't use. Right, that's great. You
That's
just
back to
reminded me your
right.
question.
Right,
Back to
yeah.
your question. So when we do retouching, we use a specific pigments, specific colors for restoration and conservation. Because we follow the criteria of the American Institute of Conservation that everything we do on a painting has to be reversible. Because our retouching one day will discolor as well. The future conservator will need to be able to remove it easily. If we use oil color, the future conservator will peel away all the painting because the solvents who remove the retouching in oil color will remove the original oil color as well. So everything has to be specifically for the conservation purposes. And also has to be recognizable. Our retouching need to be identifiable with the UV light. You need to see what we did in respect to the original. I will show you that as a final. I will show you that. Last things in this room, and then we move to the other one. Here we have what we call the vacuum hot table. This table is really important for several phases in conservation. One of those is relining a painting. In this case, we are flattening the canvas because there is a tear who deformed the canvas and humidity as well. We did the process already, so it's not too deformed, but just to show you the phase. And for instance, one time I was working on a Monet. Monet has a really thick impasto, really, really thick, it's amazing. And if you use this vacuum hot table on a painting with a thick impasto, you must use a lot of dots and testing, and everything is calculated. The heat is calculated and the pressure is calculated. So, because you can flatten an impasto really easily.
Really?
So this is really important, and at the same moment it's really dangerous if you don't use it properly. So here we have this little baby, and I show you the phase. In this case, we are ready. It's like, so you see the canvas now is completely flattened. The table now is cold, but we can really adjust the heat depending on what we need to do, because the heat will soften the canvas. Therefore, with the pressure, we will be able to really flatten the deformation.
Yeah, wow.
And you can see
So once it's, so now you're gonna have to repair all those.
exactly, yes.
And the big stain.
Yeah.
Wow. Everything's even more prominent.
Okay, thank you. So this is the phase in what is called vacuum hot table.
Well, so is this so this would be the largest canvas you could do though, right?
We did larger than the table. We have a system to be able to do even a larger canvas using this table as well.
How many works do you do on average a year?
Oof, I don't know. We do have the inventory. We keep the inventory. Anytime I start counting, I surrender. I say, okay, I need to send this in. I need to send it. So, okay, so we move to this area. Here we have a baby. This baby is waiting for us. We remove some indentation, and so we now is waiting a little time to. And then you can see this Torah is from the Four Arts.
That's from where?
Four Arts.
Yeah.
Torah.
Oh, the 4 Arts, yeah.
Yeah. This is a Torah.
Yeah.
And you see we have contemporary art, and then we have modern. This is Berkovich. And now Carla will show you how we, this is just to show you, we are not really doing any takes forever, so we don't do it now, but just to show you what we do when we have a tear repair. So now Carla will check the fiber to make sure the original fiber are realigned on the edges of the tear. So with this process, she will use this little tool to put it all together because they need to go back to the original position. And the next phase, then when she realign everything, you see this is overlapping the painting, so she will need to gently relax the canvas to the point that we can stabilize the fiber in a second. Then she will be using welding powder. There are several systems to do a tear repair, but this is what we are showing you. So she will have something to hold the tear. And from the reverse of the canvas, she will apply the resin. Let me show the reverse just to show you. Now you see the tear. So she will apply the resin on the edges, and with this little tool that she's showing you, she will melt the resin to bound the two edges of the canvas. And this is everything under the microscope, so she can really make sure the resin reach the canvases properly. This is it. And with the little iron, she will be ironing the tear until it's completely flat. So this is the process. Alright, and then here, that's all I needed to show you was there. And so we can go on the final painting, just so you saw Janine doing the touching. Now I'm going to show you see, you never know what is coming through the door. This is Malehi, this artist. His name is Malehi. Really interesting.
I heard something.
Something comes down that way.
So now, so here we are going to show you. This painting is completed, just ready to be reframed. It's a beautiful golden frame, but I wanted to show you the retouching. So I was mentioning to you, we have criteria we follow to make sure everything is done properly. And this painting was already retouched. You can come a little bit closer, please. You look stunning. Anyway, tell me your secret. Alright, so maybe this is blocking us, so everybody can see. Awesome. Okay, so with the UV light, now you need your eye to adjust a little bit. Oh, you know what? We should probably turn this off. Oh, much better. Oh, so sorry. Okay, so now when we have our eye adjusted to the UV light, you can start seeing few purple areas.
Yeah.
You can see this. You see the purple?
Yeah.
Those are the retouching we perform.
Where's
So
the
you,
purple?
here,
I see it on the left.
on this area, this area,
That's where you
here,
reattach.
this area. In this area we had losses of color. Losses of color. And so we like Janine was doing, matching the color, so then when
But there
we,
was a lot in this, right?
so then you don't see the loss of color anymore, you see?
Yeah.
Mhm. But it's everything we do is recognizable.
Skyline, right?
It's recognizable. It's
Like the solar eclipse.
I missed
We
it,
got,
so
we
glad we
got
got
a better path of totality.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
this is the final result after
Wow.
the retouching and varnish.
Wow.
Do you know what actually caused the damage, caused the damage for this?
Yes,
What was it?
it was kept rolling.
It was kept rolling.
Oh,
I know.
You see the
Look at all the stuff
losses
rolled.
horizontal
Oh.
and also
Australia, it's easier to
humidity.
ship it, right?
Humidity as well.
So how long can you keep something rolled?
Don't tell me, I'm
Ah.
so afraid to hear that.
I mean, we've had to, because we recently had some pieces on sanu, was the old Nigerian fabric, and then it's oil painting on top of that. How long do you suppose you keep that rolled? Few days. Okay.
Oh, you're like.
Like today,
That's someone else now there.
earlier is better.
Yeah.
Earlier you release it from the
Yeah.
roll and you put it flat on a sandwich of cardboard. Better if you can buy in Amazon a very, very important paper is called Tyvek.
Oh, I know. Yes,
Tyvek, right? Tyvek.
I read that actually.
Things would be used in building.
Yes.
Yes.
I used that actually to wrap
Days?
it when I did it outside as
Yes.
well. With a tube, and then I put it around the tube and then in another tube.
I mean, that's not good.
I have done it right.
Yes.
It's fine.
Yes, you did. It's the best.
Big,
Perfectly.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, I think we were all thinking 2-3 years.
Oh, days,
2
hours. She's just about to get a big, massive delivery of rolls.
Yeah.
But even sometimes the clients comes and we put a glassine paper and they store in a box. I don't recommend keep it in a box for a long time because the humidity and everything. To give you an idea, when I restore a Rembrandt, the clients came and he put it in the deposit. 3 years later, when he opened the painting, he noticed all the creases around the canvas. It was nearly restored, but he kept the painting in the box and put it on a storage.
Oh, in the box?
In the box.
So that it
What
wasn't
happened?
properly
It
packed.
happened that the humidity was built up because it's like a camera condensation. It causes a condensation inside the wooden.
So the material of the box, how it was made,
Exactly.
started.
So it was a fluctuation of humidity. It was kept there for. But I was a Rembrandt, so you have to bring Rembrandt back here. We like to have it here, of course. You don't like to have a Rembrandt here?
There's a reason to get rid of storage.
Right? So very quickly, because a couple weeks ago when I was in here, I said, oh my God, this is a brand new painting.
Oh yes.
What the heck is this
Oh,
doing?
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yes. And it's also gorgeous, very glossy now. It's not going to stay glossy. This is the first phase. We need to do the second layer to make it satin. So this beautiful artwork.
Wait till you hear.
Actually, I love this concept. He was, he's painting these figures, which are human figures, but we are so into technology and cell phone that we became robots almost. You see, we lose our personality.
Identity.
That's why he put it's so beautiful. So this painting was shipped from France to here. Unfortunately, the varnish was still fresh. Therefore, all the
Didn't
bubble wrap,
stabilize.
everything was impressed in the paint.
bubble wrap?
Yeah.
Wow.
Everything.
Don't put bubble wrap against your canvas.
Bubble wrap. Yeah.
So
No,
it was
no,
a
no,
right,
no.
so somebody was rushing it to get here, because if the varnish was still
Was
wet.
a thick layer of varnish.
Wow. Like it
Like
needed
it
like
needed-
months for it to.
Was it shipped from the gallery?
Or from the artist.
Okay.
From the artist.
So who's paying for it to?
Oh, so you also ask that same question, a lot of your things, how often do you have to deal with insurance companies, or is?
Occasionally we do deal with insurance.
Yeah,
in more extreme cases, like
A rubber.
mold.
It relies
Yeah.
What would actually be, because we deal with insurance claims all the time, is that I would think that this was purchased from the artist and then shipped here to the new buyer, he didn't even have a chance to get it in under his policy.
Yeah, but
But, I mean, and so it, who was insuring it?
That was last
Well,
month's talk.
Okay, alright.
Yeah, but who is it the artist probably can't afford to pay for
in this case, he's lucky because he sent the artwork to his gallery representative here. So it's them.
Yeah.
So it's not like a client who purchased the painting.
So how long did it take to take the bubble wrap images?
Okay, so that was a process because when we removed the varnish,
Was a very steep, varnish.
really thick, so it requires several layers. And we use a cotton swab. So the first layer.
Always clean it like that.
So with the cotton swab, like you showed me, like you showed me with the older painting with the cotton swab. But in this case, we had the challenge of regenerating the varnish, which was creating the cotton swab. We couldn't really remove it because the cotton swab was trapped into the next layer of the varnish. So it was a long process.
And so the artist clearly is still alive.
Yeah.
And so, do you have to consult with him
Yes.
to make sure that you're maintaining the integrity of the piece?
Great question.
And,
Yes.
okay.
Yes, because it's a contemporary artist, anytime we do something on a painting, we always need permission from the artist, so we contact them and we receive, in this case, an inquire which varnish you want us to use. I gave him the recipe, he approved it, so we will go ahead with that. But it's so important because of VARA, they do by the law,
Right.
and that could be really problematic if we don't do that. So
This is why she likes Rembrandt. He's dead.
Exactly. I was gonna ask you any questions. I can do my thing.
It's no vote.
No voice in the.
I want to thank Barbara
Thank
for
you
her
for
time. You're just all of you
and
are incredible.
amazing.
Yes.
You're amazing work, you're magicians.
Very talented,
Yes.
really.
Thank you
The
for
science behind the art.
Oh, through
Yeah,
all
there is a
part
lot
of
science.
taking care of your art. So you go home and you look behind
He's
everything.
gonna be up all night.
I'm gonna be, no, and.
It's gonna take him 2 months, he's got 2 houses.
Literally, I moved the mat, right, and for another painting that was there, to be hung, and as it was being hung, I said, I'm just gonna wipe off the top of the lucite frame. I mean, I've had it since 1978, black. I mean, just black. It was in the lucite box that but still, and that thing needs to go to, but that's a work on paper, it's different, but I mean. But I do have a very large canvas like this that had been rolled for a couple of years, and it has lump. You can see the lumps in it, and that needs to be repaired. So I'll be calling you.
Okay.
We all will be.
That was rolled too. That large painting was rolled too,
Yeah.
and had creases and deformation, and a little bit of crack. Luckily, very superficial, so we were able to flatten the canvas.
It's nice painting.
I'm gonna go home and roll away.
I know.
You're gonna unroll everything.
I know. Thank you.
Cry.